right? I'm like, Ma, I heard you say the B word at home, and I came here and I was feeling like she was that word. So I used it. But I got whooped, and I got hit at school, and in front of the whole class, I got hit across my hand with a yardstick, and then I got home and got a whooping.
I used to get threatened to get whooped in front of the class. It ain't never happened.
My mother ain't whooped me. My teacher hit me.
No, my father used to be like, I'm going to come up there and whip you in front of the class. He never did it. He said he just used to threaten me with it. He would have never did it.
Yeah, but like these kids off the chain. That's why they out here doing this crazy wild ass shit now. Because ain't no structure in the household. Just letting them do what they want.
Don't have structure and come from situations where there was no structure.
But it's parents that come from situations where there was structure. Who had a 2-parent household. Who's still out here doing the dumb shit. So that don't matter. If it's in you, it's just in you. That's just it.
That is true. You can't.
Because a child can go to college and get and get all A's, pass all their courses, and still go out here and rob a fucking bank.
That is absolutely
so. It don't really matter. It's just your mindset. It's in you. If you gonna do it, you gonna do it. If you ain't, you ain't.
But a lot of things are learned behaviors over a period of time.
And a lot of things are people sitting behind a computer researching shit to go out here and do. Yeah, so they did learn it. They ain't learning from home. They learned it from somebody else. They learned it from watching some shit they done seen on TV. That's what I'm saying. That Grand Theft Auto, those games and stuff is only teaching these kids how to go out here and do crazy, crazy shit. Like I seen where the boys was driving down Marlboro Pike with their guns out the window just shooting. Sitting outside the car while I drive. Like, where the fuck you see some shit like that at? On a video game.
Movies.
Exactly. Like, y'all tripping out here. These y'all kids. And they parents probably got good jobs, live in a good neighborhood, or they in poverty. Either way, you ain't got to be doing that.
Or their parents is doing that.
You right. You gotta lead by example. Like you have to be the example. You have to set the tone for your children.
I mean, you just got like.
I'm just saying you do, and then they'll still do what they want.
As black men, like like it's hard to say, don't do this while you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? It's like that whole saying, "Do as I say, not as I do." Is dumb as hell, because people really do what they see and not necessarily what's said. Because kids are always told, don't do this, don't do that. But just like you said, you heard your mother use the word. So whether she told you don't do it or not, you watched her do it.
And I still went and did shit.
And so you did it because you seen somebody doing it. Whether they told you don't do it at all don't matter. Your actions need to align with your words.
You right. You
right. That's taught confusion off the break. You telling don't do as I do as I say. That you confuse somebody off the jump. Now they don't know how to take anything.
Well, I mean, it worked for me and mine. Because it worked for me and BA. Because he wasn't doing that wild stuff. And I thank God for that. But, it's just... I know people be wanting to be their child's friend and stuff, and that's all good. That's all good. You should be your son or daughter's best friend. That way they trust you, you know what I'm saying, to come to you and tell you when things are wrong, when things are going bad, when they having problems, when they doing good. Like, they trust you. You created that bond with them, you know what I'm saying? But you still have to be the mother. You still have to be the father. You still have to discipline them. You can't laugh when they doing the dumb shit. You have to discipline them. A lot of people be thinking it's cute. Remember they was recording that little boy smoking that weed? Them girls was like, they was laughing. That little boy was like 2 years old or some shit.
I mean, but we also have grew up with parents who gave, you know what I'm saying, like
our parents gave us sips of beer, of course.
But that's the same thing.
Man, I'm not passing no J to no baby.
It's no different. There's no difference.
My mother ain't give me sips of beer. Wasn't giving them sips of beer. They was finding beer cans that was that wasn't fully empty, drinking them, finishing them was what they was doing.
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
Nah, but my Aunt Janice did give me a sip of beer.
I'm not talking about.
But that was when
the beer.
Yeah, that was when the cicadas was out.
I'm talking about. Here, come here, boy.
Her nerves was bad.
Sit this. And hoping I go to bed.
Oh,
I remember I did it one time. My father gave me some beer. My mother got mad. Because, like, and this is another thing with kids playing on what their parents say. My mother was like, you're going to have him acting crazy, acting drunk. I ain't feel nothing. I started running around and
acting. Just because they said you was going to be like that. But I watched a reel yesterday of a little boy at a wedding. And they gave him a flute. You know, like a champagne flute, as if he had champagne, but he had something in his cup, in his glass, but it wasn't champagne. Why the damn reel was like, the reel said, before was when he was drinking it with the family. And then after, he was on the dance floor, he had done took his shirt off and everything, was getting down on the dance floor like he was a drunk mess. He ain't had shit. I was crying laughing when I saw that. Oh my God! And the family, it may have been a spoof, something they put together, but he just was faking like shit, like he had been drinking. Boy, you ain't had nothing. Funny as hell, young. That's true, young. Kids be actors, little actors.
Once you say something, they like, oh, okay, I'm gonna use this.
Yeah. Little bub. You know, these are the things that they say around grown-ups that they don't be realizing that their kids be hearing. Because kids nosy. They be listening. Oh, yeah, you know, little bub, you know, the doctor said, you know, that you know, he a little hyper and stuff. But I don't really believe it. You know, I just think he bad. And then hear the kid come running out. La, 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 la. Like, go sit your ass down. Ain't shit wrong with you. Like, you just overhearing stuff and then you want to run with it.
I mean, that goes for, you tell anybody anything.
Exactly.
They start, just like you can have a person, like, I know I've done it sometimes. You feel something in your body, so you like, let me look this up. By the time you finish, you done had
all kind
of diseases and everything. You in there panicking.
Yeah.
And you ain't got nothing but a little headache.
Yeah. Like when I had psoriasis and you thought I had wingworms. you was like, I'm not sleeping in this bed with you. You was like, what is that? Man, and you was like this. You gotta put some vinegar on it. Oh my God, Googling all that shit had me putting straight vinegar on my skin. Fucking myself
if you had a wingworm, then that would have worked.
Yeah, but I ain't no damn wingworm. Went to the emergency room and everything. You gonna have to wear a sweater. Like cover up, double up. Cause I don't want it. And I get to the emergency room and you was in there with me. You went in the back with me. And I told the doctor, I was like, yeah, he think it's wingworms. And she started laughing. She was like, it is, sir, it is not wingworms. It's psoriasis. Like, yeah, that was the funniest thing.